Okay, hi. A very good evening, everyone. This is the Rotaract Club of Colombo East with our new project, Local Rising. You probably know about our club, you do, but the new project, the new term, Local Rising, can be a bit new to you all. So, let me give you a brief introduction about it and start the session. So, Local Rising is an initiative by the Rotaract Club of Colombo East dedicated to raising knowledge and understanding of the significance of supporting homegrown and small businesses in our community. Basically, we are telling and we are showing how we can support our small businesses. This is something quite interesting to talk about. So, to talk about this, we have a really special character joining with us today. Before starting the introduction, let me add her to the session. We hope she'll be joining with us and it's connecting. Yes. Hi, a very good evening, Miss Keshini.
Evening to you all.
Yes. So, as I mentioned before, also, we have a really special character joining with us today. And talking about her, she's a visionary founder of Creative Isle and the Can Market. And if I talk about Creative Isle and Can Market a bit before she does, Creative Isle is a huge platform where creative entrepreneurs to continue their business efficiently, while the Can Market, an initiative by Creative Isle, being a market that micro entrepreneurs can come out and showcase their products and market them efficiently. So, big two big initiatives. The founder of both Creative Isle and the Can Market, she's none other than Miss Keshini Ann Suraweera. A very good evening to you, Miss, again.
Good evening, and I'm glad to be on board with you guys. You're doing great work.
Yes, thank you so much.
Happy to partner in any way.
Thank you so much. Yeah, and yeah. Let me start the conversation with one of your amazing sayings. I actually wrote it down because I ended up loving it a lot. So I'll read it out first. Creativity is not a hobby for me, it's a way of life. Creativity is about investing, experimenting, growing, taking risks, breaking rules, making mistakes to the point you become unafraid to do so. Wow. Just wow, Miss Keshini. To be really honest, this saying just made me so excited to have this session with you. And here I am, so honored. Market, as in how it started, the vision behind this venture, and what you do as an organization to support local and homegrown businesses.
Yeah, well, actually, Ken Market and the whole creative aisle, it was it was birthed during the last first wave of the COVID lockdown, right? So actually, at that time, I was under lockdown. We are just caged in the house, kind of rethinking my whole life, and and then what really I want to do. Because if I were to take you right back to my school days, I was an artist since the age of 5 6. I was an artist, and I always wanted to pursue a creative career. So however, when I was 18, because I was in leadership positions in school and things like that. And don't you know, our teachers and all that tend to say she's a career girl, she needs to be a career woman, she's CEO material and whatnot. And then I mean, little did I know it, my artistic choices of wanting to become an artist was like, thrown out of the window, not by choice, not by me. But then my
Uh-huh.
parents also wanted me to consider professional career, because in the sense for the sake of qualification and all that. So then, even though I was in art school from the age of 5 till I was 21 or something like that, because in Sri Lanka there were no art schools at the time when that was
Mm-hmm.
96, right? 96, yeah, 1996. There were no art schools, so we would have to go to Malaysia or somewhere. And I knew my father, having just me and my sister, just the two daughters, I know he was not going to let go of us to study overseas. So, I mean, I automatically, joined SIMA. I qualified in my SIMA and ACMA, and then went on to my master's. While I was studying SIMA, I joined my dad's garment factory. So there I had my management skills and whatever's, and everything put through. So I was an entrepreneur from the age of 19, thrown into it because there were no boys in the family. But I was once a person who was at crossroads, having to choose either a creative career or a professional career. And I mean, I had to do what seemed logical and practical at the time. But during the last lockdown, I was kind of thinking, I have been in the corporate. I've climbed the corporate ladder. I've been in working in leading companies. I've been an entrepreneur, been on several boards, in corporate boards and things like that. But under that lockdown, when I was thinking, but of course we all have seasons. I mean, I'm a mother of two. So, I mean, even though you are a corporate person, you have your seasons where you have to take breaks, to look after your kids and things like that as well. So my career has been like a yo-yo, the highs and the lows and the whatevers. But then under lockdown, I was thinking, creative side of me, I mean, it's still a burning desire, and what am I doing with it, so then creative aisle came about during that process of thinking, of me trying to figure out, so then I was googling so many things. I came across this video saying, what is your dominant passionate, what are you most passionate about, and pin it down. And so I was doing all sorts of those exercises, and I suppose this can market and the creative aisle, all those things came to birth during that lockdown time, so because I
Yeah.
actually did reach out to many people, and then I realized that a lot of people were rethinking their careers at the time, people who had become, who were doing professional things, during the lockdown, they had no choice. So they were sort of going back to pursuing their creative sides. So I met quite a few of them who also inspired me and made me, rethink this way. Yeah.
Yeah, that was so inspiring because talking about passion, I guess we as youngsters also, there's a lot to take from your story because you're doing what you love at this point, right? So I guess that was really inspiring, Miss Keshini. And coming to the next question, why is it crucial that we as a community support local businesses? I mean, what's the role they play as part of preserving the true essence of the community?
Yes, well, of course, when we are talking about local businesses, we need to look at, for me, initially, when it was in the form of creative aisle, I was thinking there are a lot of traditional artists, right? The batik industry, the wood carvings industry. So all of them, I mean, wood carvings, they'll keep doing the mask of the traditional masks, and they wouldn't go beyond that. And the batik will keep drawing the elephant and wouldn't go beyond that. So during the
Yeah,
lockdown, what we were doing was I was connecting with people. We were doing Zoom calls, WhatsApp calls, and then we were trying to see how we can make their products more contemporary. And strangely, I linked with my art school teacher, who she was my first teacher at the age of 6. By some chance, I don't know, I just linked with her. Somebody connected me with her, and when I heard her voice, I mean, what, 20 odd years later, I realized, 30 odd years later, I realized, oh my goodness, this is my first art teacher. So we were working with artisans, right? And then we
uh-huh.
realized we can tweak their products, we can make it more contemporary, make it, I mean, we can use the same techniques, and it's just that their culture, they are limited to what they know, what's been traditionally taught. But those same techniques, we thought, we can make these products more temporary, and we can, bring this to the world. Creative Isle, Sri Lanka is a beautiful creative island, full of creative people. I mean,
Yeah,
everybody is creative. I mean, I think we are oozing with creativity. Every human being in Sri Lanka is creative and has some side of creativity, I'm sure. Um, so when I started reaching out and networking with these people, I was amazed. And then I was like, really passionate about, helping and reaching out to see what I could do. I mean, there isn't, I mean, if we don't start in whatever little way we can, you can't. So then I was like, we started sending materials by courier to these people in Kandy and all sorts of places. Call and said, can you try something else with this? Can you mix the modern art to this and then blend the two? Can we see how it looks? And we
yeah,
developed some samples, and it was the traditional thing with the modern thing, not taking away the traditional thing totally, but giving it a facelift or whatever, a little bit of a making it more contemporary and modern. And then we started that way during the lockdown. So, but I'm thinking it's very
mm-hmm.
important to support these people, because, as I said, like the same way, to pursue a creative career, you have to be very brave in Sri Lanka to pursue a creative career and to become an entrepreneur. I've been an entrepreneur since I was 19. I ran my dad's garment factory since I was 19 till I was 29, and then went on to corporate. It's tough. It's pretty tough. So, I mean, it can be really tough, and it's like the survival of the fittest, and it's not for the faint of heart. So, because I mean, it's just, it's either you go at it really boldly or what. So I think all this type of people, entrepreneurs, I mean, they are the only ones who will bring in creativity to the table. Because if creative people, they think differently, they think out of the box. I think that's one reason why even in my corporate career I was able to go up to certain higher positions, is because I was a creative person by nature. I used to break things down into a smaller, more understanding thing, where I used to simplify things and think out of the box and, come up with. So I think creative entrepreneurs are people who would think differently. They would view life differently, more positively. So we need to support people like that. Otherwise, they wouldn't I mean, I know their strength would carry them thus far, but I suppose if we all join in as a community and be focused on, positioning Sri Lanka for the creative branding Sri Lanka as for the creative people, the creative island that we truly are, I think we can do wonders. I mean, I want to put Sri Lanka on the map for truly being a creative island. Let's see where it goes.
Yes, it definitely is going to be a colorful Sri Lanka. It definitely going to be. And Miss Keshini, how do local and small businesses promote entrepreneurship in our community? How does it encourage the youth to pursue their dream of starting their own business?
Yes. Well, come again. What would you have kind of like two questions in there, which so I
Yeah,
might have to go first half
I'll go
before.
with the
But
first. Yeah, I'll go with the first part. How do local and small businesses promote entrepreneurship in our community?
promote in the sense you're talking about how they market it, is it, or how they get how
Yes,
they,
entrepreneurship, because we are starting
yes.
from the beginning. So when we start when we are small,
Well, actually, I can share some very interesting can market stories. Okay, so like
mhm,
now there are some people during the COVID, I said, who were software engineers, right? And they were like some are construction engineers. And
hmm,
I told you during the lockdown and maybe even a little before that, they have switched their careers, you know, 360 degrees or whatever to pursue creative careers. So now we have like say people who are photographers who are doing home baking. We have air hostesses doing wonderful baking and whatever things like that. Then we have a software engineer who's doing really gorgeous soaps, handmade soaps,
hmm,
so he's a software engineer. There's another person who's also sort of a IT engineer, and
okay.
he is making rubber dinosaurs. You know what I mean? With
Oh
natural
wow.
products. He's from Candy, so he's
Ah,
doing pure natural rubber products, and it's amazing how creative these people are. So it's just that you can become an entrepreneur not by your youth itself. Some people go halfway through career like myself in corporate, and then you do a 360 or whatever. But then there are some who start young and who set out that way, but it's a matter of the journey. Some give up halfway. So it all depends on how far you have the strength inside to pursue it. Keep pursuing. You have to, you will fall many times. So
yeah.
if you want to set out to be an entrepreneur, you have to first say, no matter how many times I fall, I'm going to pick up the pieces, rise up again. If I'm truly, because it's not about, do you love your passion more than are you passionate about your cause enough to invest in yourself, not to wait for other people to come and invest? Because most people they think when they have an idea, they think nobody came forward to invest in my company. I sold this idea to so many and nobody thought it was great, so maybe it's not great. Maybe it's not a
Yeah.
great idea. Maybe it's not a good business idea. Maybe it's not a good prospect. But are you confident enough to invest in yourself? If you think, no, this what I have, I'm sure it's a great product. I am sure this will work. I have my, um, if you're so confident about your product, you should be able to go to a bank, get a loan, and invest in yourself. That's what I think young entrepreneurs should do, because they keep waiting for other people to endorse them. So that wouldn't get you that far, because there's not many people waiting to endorse. But when you do succeed, even in
Yeah.
spite of everybody who said you, I mean, for instance, the can market, everybody said I was totally off my head trying to do a can market during COVID.
Hmm.
Because they said, I mean, everybody I went to, even when I went to an event planner, they said, you got to be kidding me. You want to do what? That kind of. Then I went to an ad agency to say, can you help me to, now at this time? So that was in August, right? That was in July.
Okay.
So then I was thinking, okay, let's forget about what these people are saying. If they're not going to support me, if they think I'm going to do it anyway, because these people, I had built a network by then. There was 50 people on board who were saying, start a market, we will be there. And I just didn't care if the support services didn't work, if they all thought it was the stupidest idea on earth. So I just thought, no, I feel this will do some good. Let's just try. I mean, if you fail, nothing lost. I mean, we tried. At least we could say, we could do better the next time. So that's my message to, entrepreneurs. I think they should always continuously pursue and dream and think. You have to be a thinker all the time. You have to keep thinking, keep innovating, keep learning about new techniques and all that. Now, some of these people who are third, fourth generations of, like we have in the can market, some people who are like the third, fourth generation of Ayurvedic, say, parents, they've had Ayurvedic parents who've been Ayurvedic.
Yeah.
They have come forward and they are innovating those teas, branding it, packaging it, and, having the scientific names on it. So, I mean, that's taking their parents' traditional, inheritance and their traditional, generational business to another level. And then we have in the can market, among the can market vendors, some who are, from the third generation of brassworksmen, and they have, gone into doing cutlery and things like that, that even IKEA had come and tapped on their door and said, we like your product, and we have 10,000 pieces, and they had said,
wow,
we don't have the capacity to do that. So this is what I'm saying, there's potential, they have the creativity, but they don't have the machinery and all that to support. That's why I say we all have to get together and make this work, So.
Miss Keshini, to be really honest, I guess I found my inspiration.
I'm glad.
I'm gonna turn it to 360. I always want to do personal this thing. I always wanted to, and I was ready to do it. I guess I found my inspiration. Thank you so much.
We can all
and
warn you of the pitfalls as
well. So, given the unprecedented times, Ms. Keshini, what is our role as the youth to help these businesses survive?
Well, not that as the youth, because I was just thinking, if I would give you one example. Now, say there's this person called Kosmama, right? We call him Kosmama. He doesn't have Facebook, he doesn't have Instagram, but he just does jackfruit related products, which are really cool. He does the jackfruit, what should I say, toffees, and he does the jackfruit chili paste and all sorts of, jackfruit powders and things like that, flour and things like that. So, and then but the thing is, we, the youngsters, the youth would know, okay, this is a vegan product. This is a good substitute for proteins. This is a good whatever, this is a good health snack, or this is a good for a protein shake, or, something like that. So, it's the culture that you live in, the modern times, they are not exposed to that. But the thing is, Kosmama can say, this is jackfruit, this jackfruit, that, but, it wouldn't appeal to the Colombo market. But if the youth came forward and said, look what I've tried, I found this really good vegan product. The moment you say vegan, I mean, you capture an audience, right?
Yeah,
but
of course.
Mama wouldn't know how to do that, because Mama wouldn't know anything about what vegan means even, And so, I mean, I think that way the youth, if they could be brand ambassadors for these people, if they could be help to support these brands by, innovating. As I said, Sri Lanka is totally creative. You all may come up, the youth can come up with several ideas as to how, you can go and talk to them and say, what if you did this, what if you do that. I have even invited some influencers to even, share the profits with these people, partner with these people, because what we are trying to do at the can market is it's a B2B platform, not just a B2C, right? So it's a B2B platform where so that these creative entrepreneurs could be captured by another businessman, maybe, you know, who thinks, oh, this guy's soaps are really excellent, and I'm a big player in the soap. I'd like to take his range, and you know, so that's why I wanted a platform for entrepreneurs, because Sri Lanka doesn't really have that. Then entrepreneurs are always having to stand by the side of their road and sell things. So they're all they're creative, you know, they deserve that much respect. So so that's why I went to Colombo City Center. I tapped on their doors and I spoke to them. I sold my concept to them, and I'm very, very grateful to people like to the management at City Center. You know, Mr. Rusi Pestanji, he's been great. His daughter Tanaz as well, and they've been very supportive. They've opened their doors and welcomed these people, entrepreneurs, into their, you know, facility, even though it may be inconvenient, it may not, you know, the atmosphere of the mall might look bad a little, it might, you know, get affected a little bit. They put all that aside, and they thought at this point helping people was more important, you know. So I'm ever so grateful to them. So I'm thinking that maybe this initiative, if it catches momentum and so many other people join this network, you know, a lot of young people, that's why we are reaching out to even Rotaract Club. We want the youth to come in, give ideas, you know, to promote and support them in any way they can. There's always
We'd
so
love
much.
to. Yes, yes, Ms. Keshini. And what advice can you give to a local business that is looking to improve their engagement and promote their business during these times? And how does Can Market play a role in helping these businesses? I guess you already talk about these, but
Yeah.
specifically how Can Market works helping these businesses?
Yeah, so what Can Market does is, as I said, we have created a platform for them, a B2B and a B2C. And apart from that, what I do is I try to make connections for them. I try to, like, for example, you know, I connect with people I know, strategic partners, and I bring them over and I say, look, like, for example, I invited Harpo Gunaratna, then even
Okay.
JetWings chairman, Mr. Hiran Kure. You know, all of them,
Mhm.
they've selected, they've seen these products, and I've told them, you know, help us by giving your chefs, make chefs are helping these
Yeah.
people innovate their menus, you know, their recipes. They are helping them to improve on these people's recipes. Like, for example, there's one very creative guy who's doing beetroot powders and carrot powders and all that. But then I was asking him, so what do we do with this now? The carrot powder, what do we do? We bathe in it,
Yeah.
or it, or what do we do with it? Because I was just, you know, asking him, okay, great, you've got a wonderful product now. What do we do with it, right? So then after that I said, so then I started asking the questions. I said, can we use these for creams? Can we use these for shampoos? Can we use this for everything? He had a yes. So I said, okay,
Wow.
then let's do it. You know, so I was saying, okay. So then I spoke to the shampoo supplier and I said, okay, you're doing shampoos. He has the carrot powder. The two of you work together and see whether, you know, you can make a shampoo out of this. You know what I mean? So,
Wow.
like, for example, yeah. So then the one who's doing the cheesecakes and the bakes, I said, look, here, there's carrot powder here. Can you see if you can do carrot cakes with this? You know what I mean? It's just a matter of, you know, putting people together, and they come up with really creative stuff. Because the girl who was doing the baking, she said,
Mhm.
okay, try this umbrella cheesecake. I said, wow, I would never have thought of that. So
Wow.
yeah, so, you know, so we have at the Can Market, we have people, you know, coming up with various things, like they're doing all the wines and all sorts of innovative products, which you know, like even soursop, we have a guy doing soursop tea, and that has
Oh.
so much of nutrients, and, you know, all these, it's a cure for migraine, it's a cure for eczema and all sorts of things. So imagine what we can do if we tell the world that this soursop, which is the katu anoda, which is just in the, you know, rotting in the gardens and all that, that this has this much of, and even things that the young generation don't eat anymore, they have sort of put them into spreads, soursop spread, where you can eat it with the
Mm.
crust, you can eat it with your toast, and it's vegan, it's healthy. Even the jackfruit, they have put it in brine, they have put it in like a spread. So things like that, where it's easy to do. So for example, that is what we do at Can Market. We rethink. I rethink with the help of some, as I said, I have a few consultants whom I get on board to strategically evaluate these products. And even the guy who was doing the jaggery, I said, as a mother, as a housewife, I hate breaking this jaggery, cutting the jaggery up and, making it into cubes, and, it never cuts properly, it crushes. Can't you just make this into a paste? I said,
Oh,
like a nut.
wow.
I mean, can't you do a Nutella jaggery paste, something so that I can feed my children when I'm on the bus? And then he actually tried it. He did a cinnamon jaggery spread, and he did
Oh, wow.
a cashew jaggery spread. So, I mean, it's just that he never thought about it, but my problem made him think about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think there's a
Yes.
stuff that we can do, and that's what we are doing at Can Market. We are trying to invite people, rethink these products, and a lot of people have come forward. A lot of people who are in marketing, in advertising, they've come forward to help. A lot of people who are in food technology, they've come forward to help the Can Market vendors. They've said, we'll help you get the certificates for this. We'll help you with the expiry dates, So they're sharing their knowledge, and it's like a pooling of resources as such, So
Yeah.
let's see.
I'm here thinking, yeah, Miss Keshini, I'm here thinking what we cannot do. Like,
I know the
beetroot
possibilities are
powder and
endless.
carrot powder, we never think. Like,
I know.
we always see it as a carrot.
Exactly. And then, he even has jackfruit seed powder. So I was telling
Oh,
him, okay, now that you can't use as a shampoo, you can't use it on your face. What do you do with that? And then he was also thinking, well, I don't know. But then we started researching jackfruit
uh-huh.
powder. This is what I'm saying. This is what we can do. We can Google, we can research, and then we came about that it was, these protein shakes and things like that people, I'm not a gym fitness person, but protein shakes and things that they have, this is a good substitute. You can add some milk and have it as a cereal. You can have it as a breakfast, like kind of like a breakfast cereal or something like that, and it's a good substitute for protein shakes, that kind of thing. It's unimaginable that if you really actually try and put yourself in there, there are some crazy things you can come up with, which might be hit a jackpot sometimes.
Yes, like we are paying lots of money for all the foreign products when we have everything here, right, Miss Keshini?
It's crazy, and I want these products. I want the world to know about these products, because I don't know if they're doing beetroot powder anywhere else. I don't know. But then, but so they are, and these guys, what I encourage them to do is, even when they had the second lockdown, the second wave, I called all of them and I said, like, let's not get demotivated, okay? So, because when we come back, we are going to come back with new launches, new range. You're going to use your basic products. You're going to think, you're going to improve it. And when you come back, Can Market is going to do a launch of all your, new special innovations in the second wave, under the lockdown. So that's what we try to do to keep the faith. Yeah.
That lot of spirit, and we are so glad to hear all these stories that we never thought of, like they thought here, to be really honest. So grateful, Miss
Yeah.
Keshini. And it's December, the festive season has begun. So,
Yes.
what are some of the projects and initiatives you have organized to support local businesses during this time, festive time?
Well, actually, the during the festive time, most of the promotions are based on what we are doing at the Colombo City Centre itself. So we plan to invite celebrities. We planned a couple of activations and some marketing programs to promote the Can Market. But as you know, we are all waiting to see what the restrictions are. We had so many things in mind. We wanted to have a total Can Christmas market, and really spread the Christmas cheer. So we have lots of Christmas decor, handmade. I mean, you should come and see the Christmas decor stall, right? You have to check it out at the Can Market. There's this person, very innovative, doing gorgeous Christmas decor. And I mean, in terms of support, we are trying to promote this and create awareness in every way we can. But, everyone's worried what the turnout will be. So let's hope that people, but because city center is one of the safest places, I suppose, because they check the temperature and it's not as if it's, everybody's checked, and hopefully people will feel more safe to be there. So I'm hoping that the crowds will be there to encourage these entrepreneurs, and we have done the very well spread out layout this time, so that, and on our Facebook, we will be promoting each of these vendors, and if anybody wants these things delivered, we are sort of facilitating that. We've tied up with some courier companies and all that as well. And we are directly making because usually what happens is always there's an agent who represents the real entrepreneur. That face never comes forward.
Hi, I hope you can hear me now, Ms. Keshini. Really sorry for the inconvenience. I guess there has been some connection issues. Yeah. Thank you so much for being such an inspiration. It was so amazing to have a talk with you, and thanks a lot. It means a lot to us as youngsters to see how you are how you are following your dreams, and your passion is like so inspiring. Thank you so much, Miss Keshini. And talking about the Can Market in Colombo City Center. As I said before, all the government precautions will be met, so you'll be safe and sound. But don't forget to wear a mask. The place will be sanitized, but don't forget to wear a mask. And I'll say the dates again. Coming Friday, Saturday, Sunday, all 3 days from 10:30 a.m. to 9 p.m. So there'll be a lot of micro entrepreneurs waiting for you to unleash their products. Hope to see you all this weekend. With that note, we'll be wrapping up today's session. Thank you again, Miss Keshini, and thank you so much. And thank you guys for joining with us. Stay in touch with Local Rising for more info and more sessions like this. Stay safe, everyone, and good night.
Good night. Take care.
Good night.
Please share the Can Market page and help to create
a
We'd like to put on page, because then it will benefit all of them, if it can be shared. Thank you. Right. Bye.
Thank you so much for joining with us. Thank you.